Okay, I'm trying to replace the seals on a couple of valves in the engine. I've got the piston locked up. I've got the valves locked up on the piston using a bit of clothesline and a bit of brake line. And what I'd do is I'd push the clothesline through the brake line into the cylinder, and then when it would bind, I would push the brake line in, and then just kind of gradually slide it out while I'm sliding the clothesline through the brake line. Get most of a roll of brake line into the cylinder, and then I rock the truck backwards until it locks up on the valves. Then I take the rocker arms off and replace it with this homemade valve tool that I built. And it's a very simple setup. I use a deep acorn lug nut, a rocker arm that I cut and modified so that the tip is a bit wider than the keepers in the top of the head on the valve. I've also welded the sides because they were starting to crack, and then ground everything down. So I place the acorn nut over the top of the push rod. I then place the rocker so that it sits straddling the keepers. Push these little half ball pivot things in there. I forget what they're called. Don't know that I ever actually knew. Go down. There we go. I get that down in there. And then I put the lock nut on it. Here, boy, take over. I make sure that it's lined up. Grab my spark plug tool. 5/8 spark plug socket. And make sure everything's lined up. And then I keep pushing it until the keepers pop out.
It's zoomed in. It's zoomed in.
Alright, well. As you can see, the keepers are now out of the spot. Go a little bit deeper and I'll fish them out with the magnet. I think that's as far as that's going to go. These keepers are in sideways. Just about everything else has the keepers going the other way. Try to spin this. There we go. I got the keepers out. All right. Take the brake clean. This is a bit of an experiment for me. I don't know if this is actually going to work. But in order to seal, for some reason this head has a nasty habit of letting oil pass the seals. I'm going to hit it with the gasket shellac and I'll put the seal on it. Let me do this the right way. Okay. Now, the other thing that's probably shouldn't be done, because from what I've seen, all the companies that do the valve jobs have not put these little seals on. These are the old-fashioned valve guide seals, and they sit at the top of the valve guide and ride just under the keepers. And I think what they do is deflect oil away from the valve guide. They don't actually seal it. So, no, that's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the actual spring. It's under your armpit. And now we start putting things back together. Come on, drop in. There we go. Had these heads done twice now on these seals, and every time they do it, it comes back with a different problem. So I'm not going to bring it back to them. I don't want to take the heads off the damn truck again. Figure if you want something done right, you do it yourself. Never liked other people working on my shit anyway, so I may make mistakes while I'm doing it, but I tend to learn from my mistakes. Such as sealing that seal with that gasket shellac may come up and bite me in the ass again. I don't know. But it's my mistake. If I make it, I'll pay for it. I won't have anybody to blame but myself. Slide that keeper in. Slide this keeper in. And then release. That, as they say in the Francais, viola. And I know that's not the proper way to say it. That'll settle in. I believe that's this one. Okay. Alrighty, that's how I'm doing it. I'll have to push the truck forward to get the rope out. Take care of that. Yeah. Let's pull it forward, boy. Truck's in gear, it's a standard, so I just bumped the truck to move the crankshaft because it's in third gear, top gear on this truck. Alright, let's see if that's giving enough room. There we go. Look at this here. Feel like I'm playing with a clown car. I just push the rope in like that. When it gets bound up inside and won't move anymore, I shove the whole rod up in and then slowly pull back. I feed it that way, and I just keep doing that. And believe me, it's a real pain in the back. That's my backwoods tool. Alright, you can shut it down.